everybody. Today's video is probably going to be a very helpful video because I will be reading you my literal packing list, like my literal Google Docs packing list off of my phone. And I thought this might be a sort of like boring video just to like have me tell you what I packed, tell you what I brought, but it's been requested so many times that I was like, I guess they just want me to read to them what I packed. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I am not going to go over the clothes that I packed because I plan on making a different video about just the clothes because it's gonna take so long to tell you everything that I want to about the clothes that I packed and also like show you outfits and tell you like what type of clothes you need. It's just, clothing is a little bit complicated. So today I'm gonna go over like toiletries, miscellaneous items, school supplies, health supplies, and all that stuff, and tell you what I brought and give you my recommendations for how much of each thing you need and just like what things to bring in general. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Subscribing would be the best. And let's get into everything I packed for semester at sea. Okay, so let's start out with toiletries. So the first thing on my toiletry list is shampoo and conditioner, and next to it in parentheses I have like one to two bottles. And I ended up bringing just one, and that ended up being just fine because in my mind I thought if I needed more I can get it in a country or at the ship store, so it doesn't have to take up space in my bag and so it doesn't have to be heavy when I'm packing it. So I just brought like one pretty big conditioner and one pretty big shampoo, but I didn't get through all of those, like I was near the end of them. But I didn't wash my hair that often on the ship, maybe every 4 days, but I showered every day. But your hair is always sort of messy because of the wind that's blowing on the ship, and it's a good idea to just put it up in a bun or in braids, and you don't have to wash it all that often. So I would recommend just bringing one bottle of each, buying more if you need it, and also bringing travel bottles, like smaller ones that you can fill up, or just like fill those up at your house before you leave. So then you can bring them to hostels or Airbnbs or hotels when you're traveling in country, so if you want to shower, you can. And then the next thing on my list is some sort of body wash, so either like body wash or bar soap. And I ended up bringing bar soap because it's smaller and doesn't weigh as much, and in my opinion it lasts longer also. So I think I brought 2 bars of that, and then you can also use this to wash your clothes if you want to when you're in the shower, so be sure to use one that does not irritate your skin and that you've used before, so you know it's not going to give you like a weird rash if you wash your clothes with it. And then of course you're going to need a toothbrush, and I use an electric toothbrush most of the time, so I brought that and the charger for it. And I also brought a toothbrush that is not electrical, so when I was traveling in country I could bring it with me because it's smaller and doesn't need to be charged. And then something really funny on this trip is that everyone at the end of it had way too much toothpaste because people would bring like 3 like full-size tubes, and you really don't go through that much toothpaste. Same thing with shampoo and conditioner, like you don't go through as much as you think you do. I brought like one really like regular size tube and then like a travel tube, and that was honestly almost enough for the whole voyage. I think it'd be enough if you had like one big tube and like 2 travel tubes or like 2 tubes of toothpaste, but you are definitely not going to use up more than 2 tubes of toothpaste. Do not bring more than that. And then of course I brought floss also, because floss, I think I brought 2 things of floss. And then I brought 2 deodorants and only used up one of them. And I brought perfume so I could smell good. And I brought a face wash that was like this big, and then another one, so I brought them in like little travel bottles. And I only like used part of one of them. You really do not use as much of these products as you think you do. So do not overpack all of your liquid products and toiletries. And then I brought 2 packs of makeup wipes because I thought to myself that if I'm gone for like 100 days and there's 50 in a pack, like 2 will be good. But I ended up not wearing makeup most of the time on the ship, and most other people don't either. It's just pretty chill, pretty casual, and what's the point of wearing makeup if you're just gonna jump in the pool later anyway? So you might not need as many of those as you think. I brought face lotion, which was a good idea because your skin gets really dry from the salt. I brought 1 tube of like my favorite like acne medication or like spot treatment. You can bring that as well, but do not bring too much again. And then I brought a comb for my hair, so if you use a brush or a comb, be sure not to forget that. And then I brought a washcloth for travel, and I should have brought more, and if you'd like to hear my complaints about washcloths on the ship, you can watch my video about the bathrooms and what I provided for you. But be sure to bring at least 1 or 2 washcloths with you. And then I packed a razor with the replaceable razor blade heads, and I think I brought 4 to 5 just to be safe. but I don't know how many I actually ended up using. I think I used all of them. And then I brought a nail clipping set with like a nail clipper and a file. And on my list, I have nail polish and nail polish remover and all that. And I didn't end up packing that, but I really wish I had because I wanted to do my own nails and not have boring plain nails like halfway through the ship and my toes. I was like, this is boring, I wish I could paint them. So that is something I definitely recommend bringing that I did not end up actually packing. And then of course, if you're a girl, you're gonna wanna bring enough pads and tampons for your whole trip because sometimes in other countries, if you're not comfortable like using ones without an applicator or using ones that have a cardboard applicator, that might be your only option to purchase in a different country. So just bring the brand that you like, bring enough. They're pretty light and they can like not take up that much space. So be sure to pack enough of those. And then just generally also in this section, I have everything about different like hair accessories that I had. So be sure to bring enough hair binders and bobby pins. But my favorite thing to bring were scrunchies and headbands and hair bows because if your wardrobe is limited, like it will be on this ship, it's nice to change up your hair accessories to make your outfit look like a completely new one. And now next on my list, I have the section about the makeup products that I brought. And generally, I just recommend that you keep it pretty minimal. Like you probably don't need the huge palettes with like tons of different colors. Just choose some of your favorite colors and like a smaller palette. And then you also don't need duplicates of everything. I think I brought 2 concealers and 2 mascaras and then like 4 chapsticks, which was a good idea because I use chapstick like throughout the entire day and at night and in country, and your lips get really dry from the salt water all the time. So be sure to bring some of that, but besides that, keep things minimal. You don't want a big like cakey face because it's gonna be really hot in most of the countries you go to and you're probably just gonna sweat it off anyway. So keep it like light and glowy and don't pack too much makeup. So now let's move on to my section about health supplies that you're gonna need for your voyage. So first of all, you're going to need your yellow fever vaccination card with you packed, and they're gonna take that to the medical center, so be sure to have that with you. You're gonna need probably malaria medication based on the places that most voyages go. You're going to need to get that from a doctor, and then also you can get a diarrhea medication from a doctor also, or you can just get it over the counter, which is called Imodium, and that is a lifesaver. Everyone gets traveler's diarrhea at least once on the voyage because you're with different foods, with different bacteria, and it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal if you don't have a way to make yourself feel better. So I highly recommend getting Imodium just at some drugstore or at Target or something. And then I'd say you're gonna wanna pack some Advil and whatever type of cold medication you usually like to use because once there's a cold on the ship and someone has like a sniffle or a cough, it does spread pretty quickly because we're all so close together and use the same dining halls and everything. So be sure to bring something for like a runny nose or a sore throat, and then also pack some cough drops because if you have a cough drops are like your best friend. They always make you feel better. And then of course bring some sort of little first aid kit with maybe like Neosporin or like a wipe to wipe off something if you get a cut in country, just like a tiny one. Like I had one that was like this big that had like wipes to make sure I didn't get like an infection once I got it cut, and then some band-aids that you can use if you get a scrape or if you have blisters from some shoes. You do not want to be walking around all day with blisters on your feet when you're trying to see a beautiful new country. And then you're probably going to want to pack some hand sanitizer, probably a very small bottle like this big that will fit in your purse or backpack, because when you're in country and get to a restaurant, if there isn't like a bathroom you can use to wash your hands, or if you're just getting food off the street, you're probably going to want to sanitize your hands so that you don't get sick from anything that you touched before that. So hand sanitizer is always a good idea. And then you are going to need bug spray with at least 20% DEET, and you're not allowed to have aerosol cans of bug spray in your packed luggage. But once you're on the ship, they sell them in the ship store, so I don't really see why that rule exists. But just try to get the ones that are not aerosol that just like spray on, but you for sure need bug spray because we go to a lot of places with like rainforests or wetlands and you're gonna get bug bites. And sometimes those bug bites can lead to things like dengue fever or malaria, and you do not want that, so be sure to protect yourself with strong bug spray. And then of course you're gonna wanna pack sunscreen. So I had a sunscreen for my face that was like 50, I think, and then one for my body that was also 50. Honestly, you could go even higher. I know a lot of people want to get tan on this trip, but the sun is very strong when you're at sea level, which you always are for this trip. And also you're just going to be in the sun a lot, so protect your skin. I recommend bringing like some for your face and some for your body, at least a bottle or 2 when you're packing your luggage, because it can sometimes be hard to find sunscreen in other countries or it can be really expensive. But you can also probably buy it at the ship store, or just find it in country, but be sure you have some to wear while you're finding it so you don't get a burn on the first day. Now let's move on to my section about electronics. So you're going to want to bring a USB drive or some sort of external hard drive so you can back up the documents and photos that you have onto that when you're on the ship. So sometimes laptops just don't really work that well on the ship because of the vibration that's always happening, and they can break down, so you want to back up your work and all your essays and stuff before you turn them in. And then also, if you want to back up your photos from your phone or your camera, that is a great idea because you never know if they can get lost or stolen, and you do not want to lose the photos from your trip. And then another thing that you definitely need is some sort of adapter for different outlets in different countries, because even on the ship, the outlets are not American outlets, they are European outlets because the ship is originally from Germany. So even in your own cabin, you're gonna need an adapter for your electronics. Two other things that I packed that aren't necessary but are definitely helpful are a portable charger, so then if you're on a long bus ride and your phone's like dying, you can charge it and keep using it, or if you're using it throughout the day for photos and the brightness has been all the way up because you've been in the sun, you won't run out of battery. And then also I brought an underwater phone case or phone protector because it's really fun when you're always on the sea or in the pool or something, but you're always on the ocean, to be able to take your phone into the ocean with you to get some awesome photos with your friends. And then of course you're gonna want your laptop and charger, and then you're also gonna want headphones that work for your phone and laptop. And also I recommend bringing an extra pair of these, or maybe even 2 extra pairs, because if you lose them, it's never fun. No one wants to be stuck without music or stuck having to listen to videos for classes out loud. That is not that fun. So be sure to have a backup pair of those. And then of course you're gonna need a phone charger. So I brought a really long one that I could use in hostels and things if my bed was really far away from the wall where the outlet was. And then I also had a shorter one that was just in my cabin. And again, it's good to have 2 of these so you have a backup in case you lose one. So now let's move on to the school supplies that you're going to need. I think it is a great idea to bring a backpack on this ship. Everyone has one, so you can carry around your books and materials with you from class to class. And then also you can dump all that stuff out and bring it in country with you. If you're going for an overnight for 1 to 2 nights, it'll all fit in a backpack. So a backpack is a great thing to have. Be sure it's a comfortable one. If it's really heavy with all of your stuff in it, you don't want to be hurting it with your shoulders. And then of course you're gonna have all of your textbooks for your classes. You can order like hard copies of this, but this is probably not a good idea. You're probably gonna wanna get them online if possible because they will take up space in your luggage and be really heavy. And then of course I brought highlighters, pens, mechanical pencils because those are the ones that I like to use the most, and 1 or 2 regular pencils because you're going to need pencils on this ship for filling out Scantron tests and just taking tests in general. Mechanical pencils work just fine, but be sure you have at least 1 pencil with you. And then I brought a folder for documents and like papers that you're gonna get from your classes, like handouts, so they don't get lost or crumpled. You're gonna want a folder for sure. And I brought 1 notebook that was enough for all of my classes. I think it was maybe like the 3 section one by like 5-star. College ruled, those are good notebooks. And you probably only need 1. And then maybe also a journal if you want to write things down, or bullet journal about your travels. That's really fun. A lot of people do that on the ship. It's super popular and it's super cute to see everyone else's journals and just to document your travels also. And then something that you totally need are post-it notes, because the Wi-Fi on the ship doesn't really work that well and you can't text people from your phone or get in contact with your friends that way. So people leave post-it notes on people's doors to be like, meet me here at this time, or like, let's go to dinner, or like, find me in this location. But just bring post-it notes so you can communicate with people on their doors, or leave notes on your own to be like, I went to the pool deck, meet me up there. Okay, and now the next section on my packing list is about snacks and food that I brought. And honestly, I did not pack snacks very well, so I can go over that really quickly, but I made a whole video about the snacks on the ship and like the food situation. Actually, I've made 2 videos now. One about the dining halls and all of the food that is available, and then another one about the snacks that you need to pack for yourself. These are very important videos to watch because you will get hungry on the ship and you will miss your snacks from home, and you will want snacks in your room late at night. So just really quickly overall, I'd suggest bringing like trail mix and protein bars and your favorite candies from home if you miss them a lot, because you might not get Reese's peanut butter cups for like 4 months if you don't bring them yourself. So be sure to check out my snacking video so you understand all of this way better and be way more prepared than I was. Alrighty, so now we're on to like my extras section or my miscellaneous items, which are all very important and that you should be aware of so you can pack them for yourself. So the first thing that you should know is that the doors in your cabin on the inside and the outside are magnetic. So if you want to bring little magnets so you can hang things up that way, that's a great idea because tape is prohibited and you can't use tape to hang things up or they're gonna get really mad at you. So be sure to bring some little magnets for yourself. And then another thing that I did on the ship was washed all of my own clothes. So I had a Scrubba washing bag and laundry detergent, and that is a great idea for you. And some other people also brought their own clotheslines with clothespins that they could hook up from like one side of the room to the other, but there is a clothesline in your shower, so you might not need to do that because you can just string it across the shower and put it over like towel hooks and stuff and hang things that way. But if you want to see my tips on washing my own clothes in my cabin, be sure to check out my video on that, because before I went on my voyage, I didn't really understand how washing your own clothes worked. And I figured it out as I went, but I can help you with my tips in my other video so you're not confused. And the next thing on my list is my wallet and passport. I don't really know why that's on here. It's not like I was gonna forget those things, but to be sure you pack them, obviously. And then bring a purse of sorts. A crossbody one is best, one that has a zipper and not just like a little like clasp, because that will protect your items way better and they won't get stolen out of your purse. Like a lot of people's items got stolen that I know just because they had one with like a flap and not an actual zipper. So bring the right type of purse. And then you're going to want to bring a water bottle for sure. A water bottle that's really big and can fit a lot of water, so you can bring it in country with you if it's not safe to drink the water there. For like the whole day, enough water for that. And then also on the ship, it's always good to carry around water with you so you stay hydrated. And then something else to pack if you want to have coffee or tea on the ship, because there's always hot water available in the dining halls. And there's coffee also, but you cannot bring it out of the dining halls with you unless you have your own mug that is sealable so it doesn't spill. So be sure to have one that like seals and closes completely so you can bring it out with you and drink it in your other classes. And then you are going to need to bring your own towel. They provide towels for you in your bathroom for showering and stuff, but you cannot bring those towels up to the pool deck or off the ship. So if you plan on going to a beach ever in country, which you totally should, you're totally going to, if you do not bring your own towel, you're just gonna be like dripping wet on the beach and have nothing to lie on, so pack your own for sure. And then the last thing on this list that I did not end up packing, but I kind of wish I had, it was kind of smart, was an over-the-door like shoe organizer, but then you can use this to put like all of your toiletries and shoes, I guess, and like jewelry and hair things all in that, so there's more storage for you, which is kind of a brilliant idea. So that was my video and everything I packed for semester at sea. I have made 2 other packing videos so far, one about the things that I wish I packed for semester at sea, which is a very important video, and then one about the things that I was glad I packed for semester at sea, which is like my pro packing tips. So you should be sure to watch both of those because I say things in those videos that I did not say in this one, and it's very important to have as much information about packing as possible before you go on this trip so you pack effectively and lightly and you have everything you need. So if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and leave any other questions or comments down below of other videos you'd like to see from me, or just questions you have about the trip in general. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.